We'll have an announcement. We do have interpretation available for our Spanish speakers. Muy buenos días, bienvenidos, bienvenidas. Si alguna persona necesita interpretación simultánea, contamos con receptores para la interpretación. Para ello, por favor de acercarse de este lado de la mesa. Muchísimas gracias. Comenzamos en unos minutos.
Oh no, we're in a bad position. People will be walking in front of us.
Okay, everybody, we're about to get started. So join us. We're so excited to see you all here today. Thank you for joining us. We're going to have a little bit of a speaking program and recognize the amazing work that you see around you. So come as close as you want, as close as you can, to make sure you can hear everything. So my name is Blakespier, and thank you. And it's my great honor to serve as the mayor here in the city of Encinitas, where we are standing right here. And I'm also the chair of SANDAG. So who is so excited about these projects? You can barely stand it. Now I want to hear a little more enthusiasm than that. Who is so excited about these projects? Yes, thank you. Does it not just warm your heart and you feel such pride at these projects that we're able to provide in our city? It is incredible. The Build NCC project has provided unbelievable improvements that we are all standing in. This is the first time I have walked across this bridge and I'm standing here as the mayor, and my heart is so full of pride that we are able to provide this for residents and community members. And I just want to highlight two things that are on my mind today as we are unveiling this suite of projects. The first one is that everybody who serves an elected office, who runs for office, who wants to be involved in helping set public policy, is doing it because we want to improve people's quality of life. And so these projects improve people's quality of life because they give you a way to move around our community that you didn't have before. So now you can actually walk across the lagoon or ride your bike across the lagoon from Encinitas to Solana Beach when you could not do that before. So this is, thank you, yes. Yeah. So this is a truly thrilling development. And also now, because of the Nature Collective and the work that was done, that's the organization that basically runs the lagoon, which you'll hear from them in a minute. But we can now walk as well from where the visitor center is across the lagoon. And so part of that is because of two beautiful bridges that were built as part of this project, but then also there's a pole road, which is the utility pole road where the poles go. Sometimes it floods, mostly it doesn't, and we figured out a way to have public access there. So that's another thing that was not here before, actually walking across the lagoon really close to the ocean there. So let's give a big round of applause for that. everybody that what funds these projects is your support of TransNet. So TransNet is a half-cent sales tax. It's also the state government and the federal government and the local governments that do it. But these projects are possible because the populace, the collective group of us, says yes when you're presented with transportation improvement projects as plans. And these things come to you on the ballot, and you get to say, do we want to do projects or do we not want to do projects? And previous voters said yes, and so now these projects are coming to our city and to our county. So this is much bigger than just the city of Encinitas. So of course, as the mayor, I'm completely thrilled to have these projects here. But as the SANDAG chair, I also want to recognize how important these projects are for every part of this county. Because now it brings people here into this lagoon and into these areas that might not have been here before. So the first point is the quality of life improvements that come from these are just unquestioned. Then the second point is recognizing that there are multiple different agencies that contribute to make this possible. So Caltrans, there's SANDAG, there's NCTD, there's the Nature Collective, there's the City of Encinitas, the City of Solana Beach, there's even the wastewater facility. And so I serve on the wastewater facility board as well, and I'll just give just a very brief little background about the reality of sitting on a board whose mission is wastewater, right? Wastewater is the mission. The mission is not transportation. The mission is processing wastewater. But saying we want to work together for the betterment of everybody to create transportation improvement projects. And so let's allow this bike path to go over a culvert and connect people between Cardiff and the Lagoon Visitor Center and provide a parking lot and things that were not there before. And so having the different staff and all these agencies put on different hats and say, what's for the good of all of us? Let's put together transportation goals, environmental goals, wastewater treatment goals, and actually make a difference for people. And so that has been happening at all levels. It largely happens behind the scenes and you don't see it. But I think it's really important to recognize it because there are hardworking staff at all these organizations that are doing that every single day to bring these projects to us. So we have an esteemed group of speakers who are all up here on stage, and you'll hear from them. They're all excellent, important collaborators that made this possible. And I will let them introduce themselves. But I want to first say a couple just recognitions. So Commissioner Kehoe, unfortunately, was not able to join us today. And I know she would be here if she could, but her leadership really led the way for the Build NCC projects and the combination of environmental and transportation projects being put together. So when we're going into a lagoon, you go in once. If you're building this big bridge in the lagoon, let's restore it. Let's make sure that we have what we need to make this lagoon ecosystem healthy. And so that pairing was really Christine Kehoe's vision, and she was able to create that many years ago. So I want to recognize her. I also want to recognize Gabe Burr. So he's a former Coastal Commission staffer, and he was really excellent at the Coastal Commission. Unfortunately, he has passed, and his contributions, though, were substantial. He was somebody who saw the vision behind this at the Coastal Commission and said, we need to make these things happen and help chart that path forward. And so here at SANDAG, with SANDAG, Caltrans, and the Nature Collective, we have dedicated this bridge to him, and we have named it the Burr Nature Bridge. Let's recognize all that he did at the Coastal Commission. And then I understand that we have a representative from Congressman Mike Levin's office who represents this area, Jessica Ramirez. Is she up here? Nearby? Okay, she has a proclamation that she is going to deliver. So she's going to come up here and do that right now.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica and I'm here on behalf of Congressman Levin's office. As you all know, Encinitas is part of Congressman Levin's district, the 49th Congressional District, and we just wanted to present 2 certificates this morning to Caltrans and SANDAG for this wonderful project. Thank you so much for this achievement, and We look forward to the joy it'll bring to the local community. Thank you so much.
And then last, I want to recognize the City of Encinitas, the City Council members who are here today with us. We have the representative for this district, City Council Member Joy Lyons. There she is. Thank you, Joy, for your support, dedication. We have City Council Member Tony Kranz, right back there. Hello, Tony. Thank you so much for being here. We have Deputy Mayor Joe Mosca. And we also have our city manager, Pam Antill, and there she is right there, and a lot of hardworking city staff that work to make sure that these things happen in the city of Encinitas. So I want to recognize the good work of our city in actualizing these. And then, so next, I will turn it over to the next speaker we have here. And this is California Transportation Commissioner, Larissa Falcon. So let's give her a big round of applause.
Mayor Blakespier and SANDAG Chair. This is such an exciting day. I don't like to be here to block between you and a wonderful trail here, but I do want to say a few things on behalf of the California Transportation Commission. I am one of 11 commissioners, and I want to give a shout out to a couple of my colleagues on the commission. We have Executive Director Mitch Weiss, who's here from Sacramento, and we also have, thank you, yes. And I do see my colleague, my fellow commissioner, Michelle Martinez, who's here from Orange County. Usually she's here with a bike, but she decided to make it nicely today for us, so welcome, Commissioner. I am one of 11 commissioners that make funding decisions on transportation issues and investments up and down the state. And I'm really proud to be representing the San Diego region. I want to acknowledge, as Mayor Blakespier just did, Senator Christine Kehoe, who really championed this project. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to step in her shoes and take some credit. But this was, a lot of this was her work and her vision, so I wanted to make sure that I acknowledged her contribution to this day. I'd also like to express huge praise to Caltrans and SANDAG for the continued partnership. I'm so impressed by what you do for the region. This is such a transformational and an innovative project. I'm here from South County, and I'm a little bit envious, but I love coming to North County and seeing all the wonderful things that you're doing here. Series of exciting projects for Build NCC, and it represents many, many decades of planning, working, designing, getting funding. Mayor Blakespier talked about TransNet. The state funding is coming to this project through your SB1 funds, specifically on your Solutions for Congested Corridors program. That, along with federal funding, we expect the money coming from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act to come more to projects like these. And CTC, the California Transportation Commission, we love these kinds of projects. We love funding these projects. $450 million has gone through our commission to go to Build NCC. $200 million of that, again, comes from SB1, and we want to continue to support projects like this in the region and up and down the state. So I'm going to stop here. I just want to congratulate all of you for those of you that work directly on this project, many of you championing this project. What a wonderful day this is, and I can't wait to take advantage of walking up and down this trail. So thank you so much, and thank you.
Larissa, I'm Lisa Heathner. I'm the mayor of Solana Beach. I'm pleased to see my entire colleagues, all of my colleagues are here today. Deputy Mayor Kelly Carlos is here. accomplishment that we are here to celebrate today. It connects my beautiful city with Encinitas, another beautiful city, and it was a vision that started way back into the 1980s. These improvements were envisioned then, and today we're realizing that this is it. We're seeing what we saw. It's all in concrete and pathways and everything with a beautiful lagoon around it. 40 years ago today. Here we have new biking and walking trails. We've got the new carpool lanes at I-5. We've got double tracking the rail line, which is allowing for more frequent trains and more on-time trains. That's both coaster and Amtrak for us passengers and freight trains as well. And also having a number of pedestrian undercrossings. Again, it's all about connection and mobility. And in fact, I'm pleased to say that Solana Beach put all of their mitigation money for the I-5 widening toward an undercrossing that connects Harbaugh Seaside Trails across from Seaside Beach all the way down to here. We can get there together. We know that North County is a beautiful spot, absolutely, and these improvements are really making it such a wonderful place to travel. So no matter how we're traveling, by bike, by foot, by car, we've got more beautiful ways to look at this gorgeous lagoon and all of the other beauties that we have in North County. We started this restoration of the lagoon, or we should say Nature Collective did, nearly 5 years ago, or as I like to say now, 3 years ago plus COVID. It's a perfect example of how we can work with different agencies together. We've got Caltrans and SANDAG working on built infrastructure, working together with the Nature Collective, an environmental organization that's creating this beautiful restored lagoon, the natural infrastructure, so to say. So I'd like to really acknowledge the work that this Nature Collective did, and also Caltrans and SANDAG working together. This construction of Hunter came with a little bit of cost of noise, and so I also want to acknowledge that our community members put up with a lot of noise during all of this. It's over now, and we just get to enjoy what we have. So I'd like to thank everybody, SANDAG, Caltrans, the Coastal Commission, the Nature Collective, everybody, the community who came out and spoke in favor and against, and brought together the project as we see it today. And again, I also would like to thank Senator Chris Kehoe for her contributions, making sure that this was done in an environmentally sensible way. I would now like to introduce Alan Costa, who's North Coast Corridor Director of Caltrans.
Woo!
Thank you, Mayor. Let's see, I've been working on this for about 2005. So a lot of pride comes with today's event. When we were given the project in 2005, it came on the heels of the extension of TransNet, 2004. And the project that my team got was to extend the carpool lanes from basically Del Mar to Carlsbad. And we opened those last month, 2 months ago. And folks are enjoying about a 10-minute time savings on the freeway. But, you know, as the team got on board in 2005, 2006, one of the first things the team does is really ask, what does success look like? When the project is open, what is success? And I think Senator Kehoe at the time really questioned us and really made us think about long and hard what success looks like. And today, I think you see what success looks like, right? Success isn't just about those carpool lanes. Success was about 4 miles of new active transportation, and as the mayor said, linking Solana Beach and Encinitas. Success is about returning tidal flushing to the East Basin, right? The East Basin, before we started the project, was on a slow decline, and if we didn't do something about it, it was going to die, right? Success was about double tracking and removing the bottleneck for the trains at the lagoon. And these were really once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, right? As was said, it's like you need to get in and get out once. And you either take advantage of those opportunities or they forever pass for a region. So, you know, hopefully you like what you see. And so I just want to say, you know, it's all about people. Projects like this don't happen without the people. A lot of great collaborations. But first of all, I want to say thank you to the community. Construction in 5 years, we know that's not easy. We appreciate your patience with us. I want to thank the contractor, Stacy Whitbeck, Flatiron, Skanska, FSSW. What a great company. my friends out of Marathon Construction who did all the lagoon restoration, the dredging. So thank you to them. We'll talk about Doug later. But what a great collaboration, what a great partnership with Nature Collective, with the Coastal Commission. I know the department and Coastal Commission haven't always had a great relationship. We had a great relationship on this project. So, and then just to my team, right? The team of engineers and consultants who made this happen. And what you may not realize when you walk around today is just, you know, a lot of the features are really due to just individual people, right? There's just heavy lifting of projects that once you get them engaged, and once you give them sort of the playing field, they come up with some great solutions. You may not realize that the columns behind you are 250 feet deep. Try drilling a hole 250 feet in sand and then pulling out the drill bit. Not easy. The contractor figured out a way to do it. We wanted this bridge to look really special, right? It's a special place. It's easy for engineers to draw all these curves. Really hard for the carpenters to do the front to false work. It's plywood. It's all. So I just want to point out one thing. I don't want to go through all the folks, but my designers are here, my construction folks, my project manager. So enjoy the day, enjoy the new San Diego facility, and as these folks said, right, as we move forward, these are the type of things we can build in San Diego if we just work together. So, Doug? Woo!
Wow, this day is actually here. Good morning, my name is Doug Gibson. I'm the Executive Director. Director of Nature Collective. We are the nonprofit organization that had a vision 35 years ago that the San Elijo Lagoon could be restored, and here we are. When our vision began all those years ago, our main focus was to dredge the tidal inlet at part of State Beach at least once a year so that oxygen levels would be stable enough for the aquatic life in the channels to survive. With the support of an endowment from our donors and the Southern California Wetlands Recovery Project, we began planning and executing this annual inlet excavation. But we had bigger dreams. We imagined a wetland with wider bridges and tidal channels that reached further into the East Basin. We had managed a greater refuge for birds, both local and visiting, from across international borders along the Pacific Flyway. In short, we imagined a wetland for the future, where the public would have access to its secrets through new trail segments scattered along its new channels. Decades ago, we knew that sea levels were rising, and we knew that our San Elijo Lagoon wetland was not ready to meet the challenges climate change will bring. So I'm here today, together with the vision that this dream has been accomplished. And we have been partners in this that have allowed us to reach this point. I've dedicated my life's work to this project, and I couldn't be happier to look out at the beautiful San Elijo Lagoon and see an enhanced tidal flow with wider, deeper channels, stepping stones that were built to provide opportunities for species to survive during this climate change and sea level rise period, and new mud flats, those delicious seafood buffets for birds, fish, and invertebrates. Now, with one of the largest restorations in California complete, Nature Collective will monitor through the next 50 years, ensuring that what we design is working as sea levels rise and our climate changes. Our restoration, marine, and nearshore monitoring efforts have already begun, including conducting the most comprehensive monitoring pre- and post-sand replenishment surf study that has been done in California. So yes, we hired somebody to surf 2,800 waves in 2 years. Using GPS pucks attached to the surfboard, we measured takeoffs, zones, wave height, rides, and our study showed that sand replenishment, pre and post, had no impact on the surf that we have along our coast, which is so valuable. We are monitoring for grunion. If you've ever been on the beach during the grunion runs, it's really critical that species be able to have open sandy beaches to be able to continue its mating process. Eelgrass is now thriving in San Elijo Lagoon, an indicator revealing that what was restored is working. Prior to restoration, we observed one patch of eelgrass. And today we have over 150 patches reaching all the way back to this bridge, which enhances the fish population by an order of magnitude. We observed our first octopus in the lagoon channels since work began here more than 3 decades ago. And 5 new fish species never seen in San Elijo Lagoon before. Wider bridges, channels, have greatly improved tidal flow, which increase oxygen levels in the water, and that creates a healthier water quality throughout the lagoon. We are tracking general species of birds, but also of endangered species like the Belding savanna sparrow, the ridgeway rail, as well as we built a whole nesting area for the California lease term. Nature Collective continues to dream big as we envision more healthy lands, waters, and natural experiences for you to enjoy. Fields of the future are coming soon. This new vision includes expanded native plant nurseries where we will welcome the community to help propagate plants indigenous to this area. When fully grown, those plants will help restore lands all throughout San Diego County. We thank all of our donors and members who for 35 years has been with us and helped us grow into this award-winning land trust we are today. We thank all of our current and former board members, employees, volunteers for their dedication and support of this vision. Thank you to all of our partners and stakeholders. Most of you are here today, but I would like to call out specifically the County of San Diego, Brian Albright, the Director of Parks and Rec is here, right there. And the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, who together we co-manage this ecological reserve. On behalf of Nature Collective, your nonprofit land trust for San Elijo Lagoon Ecological Reserve and beyond, we wish for everyone to connect with, experience, and protect nature. This is your lagoon of the future. Nature is amazing, resilient, inspiring. Go out and enjoy it. And remember, fields of the future are coming to a field behind you soon. Thank you. And now I'm happy to introduce Tasha Burner, our state representative.
Hello, everybody. It's so great to see such a large turnout for this new infrastructure. My name is Tasha Burner-Horvath. Thank you, Doug, for getting it right. Everybody just calls me TBH or Tasha. And I'm so happy to serve as your state representative for Encinitas, Carlsbad, Oceanside, Vista, and Camp Pendleton. And just for a little perspective, I was first elected in 2016. So I-5 widening in this entire build NCC project has been going on since I've been elected. And now I'm in the State Assembly, and we get to see this magnificent piece of infrastructure, the Lagoon restoration, completed, and it's such a joy for all of our communities. I'm thrilled to be with you here today to celebrate this opening and how it's going to serve all of our modes of transportation. Sometimes I think when we talk about biking or active transportation, people think it has to come in expensive cars. And it's not a trade-off. When we have projects like these, we know we can bike, we can walk, and I'm sure there are going to be some rollerbladers through here too, some skateboarders. And we don't have to sacrifice one for the other when we all work together. And I think when you look at this particular project, it's amazing is often agencies fight with each other. I don't know if you've ever read that in the news. But this is the case where everybody built on each other. They collaborated. So give a round of applause for something exceptional. An improvement like these are a great example of what it takes to encourage more folks to get out here and enjoy nature. If you build infrastructure, people will come. And these are sort of exciting improvements that really link our urban areas with our scenic bike trails, our lagoons, our nature, to help boost ridership, and most importantly, fight the climate crisis. I'm not sure all of you are aware, fight the climate crisis, let's go ahead and get that. I'm a mom of 2 kids, and when I went into office, it was the one thing that I wanted to do is save our planet for future generations. And when you do that, you actually have to look at what project, one at a time, helps you sequentially get to that point. And most of you are probably aware, because you're here, but salt marshes and eelgrass and kelp forests sequester more carbon than trees. And so this project was actually an inspiration for me to write AB 2593, which will increase the number of blue carbon projects in the state, because it shouldn't just be North County that gets a project like this. We have other lagoons here that need it. We have places in South County, places all on our coast, where we can be sequestering carbon and reducing greenhouse gas emissions and helping fight the climate crisis one project at a time. And it takes all of our agencies to do that. So really inspired by all the work you've done, and it's going to go on not just today for this opening, and not just for the biking, and not just for the walking, and not just for the enjoying of nature, but also really fighting the climate crisis in a really impactful way. I want to thank the local, state, and federal agencies. We have NCC, SANDAG, Caltrans, California State Transportation Agency, the San Diego Nature Collective, and the Federal Transit Administration for their successful partnership on this project. I'm excited to see that all these improvements. I want to give one last shout out. We were talking about the engineers who design, who engineer this, and the designers who design it, but there's also the workers who build it. And this was 5 years of hard work. So let's thank all of our workers for being this around. And with that, I'd like to introduce the CEO of SANDAG, Hassan Akara.
Thank you, Assembly Member. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, there is not much to add to what our chairman said, but I want to thank Caltrans, the partnership. We are the MD of the state because of this partnership. There is no other place where Caltrans and the NGO work together as well as we do here. I want to thank all my board members who are here, the assembly members, the commissioners. My favorite commissioner, Michelle Martinez, was my favorite commissioner before when I was in LA. Thank Mitch, all of the Caltrans staff, but most importantly, I want to thank the 400 SANDAGers who make this possible. You might have seen us in the news lately. I want you to remember SANDAG for these kinds of projects. I want you to remember SANDAG, the agency that just delivered $2.17 billion project last November for San Diego to enjoy. We're partnering with Caltrans to deliver this and more to come. That's what I want you to remember SANDAG, not the BS political speeches you hear all. Thank you, and back to the floor.
Thank you, Hassan. I do want to recognize what Hassan was just saying. He is the executive director of SANDAG. He leads a tremendous team of people who put on this event today. and also do events all over this county successfully all the time. So thank you, Hassan, for your great work. Thank you to all the staff here today for making this event possible. It was working on this for the last 5 years. I also want to recognize who I saw in the audience. It's when I talked about that wastewater district, we have the executive director, Mike Thornton, right here. Who helped us put part of this bike path that goes from this road of Manchester to Birmingham through his property, through the wastewater district property, and also built a parking lot so that the Lagoon visitors could have a place to park. So that's a really great example of that collaboration I talked about before. And then I also want to recognize the chair of North County Transit District, Jewel Edson, who's right here. She's also on the Sonic City Council, was recognized before. But we double-tracked the railroad. We double-tracked the railroad, so you could have trains go in opposite directions at the same time, which is, what you need in order to have more efficiency on the railroad. So there's so much great collaboration that's happened to make this possible. I want to thank all the speakers here today. And so I am quite cold myself. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way. But I want to say thank you for coming. We're going to take a picture up front, so if the speakers can just join me right up here. And anybody who's on the bridge, back up a little bit so that we have enough room to take the photo. We really appreciate it. So thank you again, everybody.